I'm speaking about reincarnation on this planet. Now later, I may refer to this fact, and that is that if you have come from other planets and done this even before Earth existed, that means you have in your soul a whole lot of past lives. But this is only about this planet. That's what this is about, and these lessons are about. It's so fascinating, is it not, to think that you have been on this planet so many times, old soul. As you arrive here from wherever, for whatever reason, and you begin this journey, it's not a journey of the soul, it's a journey of the human. And when you arrive here, we'll call you a newbie. And there are more arriving all the time, simply because the exponential math of those population, as it increases, will include a lot of newbies. And you can tell. You can tell because they're clueless about how Earth works. And you might shake your head and you'll say, how is that possible? That person doesn't really truly understand, and they're easily tricked, and they don't understand this or that, or human nature even is what you call it. And that's because they're brand new. Might give you an insight as what's going on in their lives. Sometimes they are in your family, and sometimes they are not. And that's on purpose as well, and we'll tell you why in another lesson. But you arrive on the planet and you begin your learning. It takes another lifetime, perhaps, to continue that, and another lifetime to continue that. And after a long period of lifetimes, perhaps as many as 15 to 20, you get out of what I would call survival mode and figuring things out, and you arrive on this planet, and as you grow up, you start to think about, I would say, more important things. In the first, you're like babes in the wood, dear ones. In any school, for instance, the first grades, learning how to read, how to write, learning all the other things, the arithmetic. Once you've figured those things out, you're ready for the advanced subjects. And after so many lives, you start to be ready for the advanced subjects. How did you get here? Is there something bigger? Now, you may have participated in what I will call religion right from the beginning, because you probably were taught about it. But I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you, again, climbing into a box of what you were told God is. I'm talking about you thinking out of the box and saying, is there something bigger? And that's who's watching and listening right now. For those are the old souls who are looking at the planet and starting to realize there is something more going on here, perhaps, than ever I was told before. Now, there is a timing you should know about, and we've never really discussed this before. And this is for those who want to know how this reincarnation or this family works. You're going to find out a little more why I call it family in the next lessons. There are those who will tell you that a soul will reincarnate into another human being, another expression, after so long a period of time on the other side of the veil. They'll say that you pass over, and they'll say there'll be a number of years, and you'll come back. And in metaphysics, this has been discussed. No one really accurately knows, dear ones. You don't know because you're linear. And you figure there are rules for this and that everyone goes through the same process, and they don't. Do you really think the uniqueness of your consciousness would have one rule for everyone? When you are starting out, dear ones, there is indeed a period of years before you will come back. There are reasons for this. You're watching, you're learning from the other side of the veil before you re-enter. The more times you come into the planet, that distance or that time frame from leaving to coming back is reduced. It's reduced to such a short amount of time that there are those leaving this planet right now who will return within 3 months. Some will say, no, that can't be, Kryon. I've learned the other way around. I want you to listen. There's a new energy on the planet where old souls are needed here. We need more of them than the new ones. Therefore, there are even those who will pass early on purpose so that they can come back, be young, and grow up as an advanced old soul in order to teach the others around them. This is a timing which we really haven't discussed before with you. What do you think of that? This is a process of love, dear ones. It is for you, and it's for the comfort of the family, meaning that it makes sense that you would come back earlier so you can continue and help the planet, help those around you, help the family you're born with. This is a process of reincarnation that is not discussed, and it is not in any doctrine of any religion at all. And you're hearing it perhaps firstly here. The second one we have talked about for more than 25 years. We didn't start talking about it immediately because it was an advanced concept. There's something called the cave of creation. It is inside the earth. It's crystalline in form. It's multidimensional. You'll never find it. But in there is a record of every single past life, every life you've ever lived on this planet. When you pass, you go to that place, dear ones. And there's approximately 2 to 3 days where it takes for you to then deposit all that happened, all the consciousness, into a crystalline form that stays with the planet, that is only part of the planet. So that when you come back, whether it's in 3 years or 3 months, you go there again. And at the wind of birth, we call it the wind of birth, the moment of birth, you pick up all of those attributes, your ancestries, your past life, all of the lessons. And you might say it's pasted upon you in a way that you then can continue. There's so many things to talk about what happens after that and what the new energy then provides after that, dear ones. It's an amazing process, and one that is filled indeed with love. Do not then take this as a minutia for you to go and look for the cave. That's not why I'm giving you this. It's so you'll understand that the process is involved, it has purpose, but mostly this attribute will tell you, you belong to Earth. At this section and this part of history, and for all of the thousands of years that you participated in humanism, the Earth has been your partner. That is where that crystalline is deposited. That is you. That's just one aspect. So there's the timing. There's that which is the cave of creation. There's that which is part of the earth. There's so much more to give you, even than I can give you in these 4 lessons. How do you feel about it, dear ones? You realize this simply isn't something that's a rule or the way it works, or it's some kind of a test. It's designed with your name on it so that you will be more comfortable with it, will understand more about it than ever before. And there's more. Oh, there's a lot more. But it's just filled with love for you, so that when you come back on this planet, things will be even easier than they were before, if you look for it. You always have the choice not to see, not to look. But so many of you watching this, being here, have seen it, move forward, and now are looking for and receiving the love that was intended for you. I am Kryon, in love with humanity. And so it is.
And with that beautiful energy still swirling around, gently, softly, at your own time and your own pace. Bring your awareness back into your body. If you've had your eyes closed, I ask that you slowly open your eyes. And now that you have your awareness back in your body and back in the room, we're going to move to the next section of our program. And Lee and I are so delighted that we have returning back with us a guest that we already had on the program, Dr. Fabian Brotos. So Fabian, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Thanks for the invitation.
Wonderful. Well, let's tell everyone about you who are joining us for the first time with you.
Yes, as Monica said, it's our second time we've had Dr. Brotos on the show. It's been the first time in 2020. And the subject is one that, when I first heard about it, really surprised me, dental decoding. And so we want you to know more about this because it's so absolutely fascinating. It's so fascinating that some don't believe it. So Monica's going to tell a little more about what's going to happen this time because we're going to expand this whole thing for you. Dr. Fabian Brotos has been a dentist since 2000, graduating from the University of the Republic of Montevideo in Uruguay. He has been teaching since 1999 in the chair of occlusion and prosthodontics in the university and has a specialty in implants and orthodontics.
Now, in 2007, that's when he started his path in biological decoding. In 2009, he studied total biology with Professor Enrique Buron. Now, this is a study that Fabian repeated several times just so he could perfect it for himself. Then, in 2012, that's when he began his journey in dental decoding in Europe. First of all, he began to do it just for his personal investigation in order to find that connection between the teeth and the brain. In 2014, that's when Fabian started to teach dental decoding, and he's now teaching this in 7 countries around the world. But that's not all. His investigation into understanding us even more meant that he obtained a university degree in neuroscience, and that was just in 2020. So Fabian has continued to really fine-tune this understanding of what our teeth and our brain can tell us about ourselves. We have a really special surprise for you in this topic today, and that is where Fabian is going to show us a panoramic X-ray to reveal what the story of the conflicts are just by looking at teeth. How amazing. Thank you, Fabian, and tell us all about how we can do this.
Well, teeth are like antennas for us. Teeth are crystals that are in our mouth. So the way these crystals are positioned, or if they have cavities, or if you have any problem in your teeth, they change the way you react to a certain situation. It gives us a reactional instinct, a way of reaction in our life of relation. So the way we react in our relational life is the way our teeth are in our mouth. So our teeth are crystals, are antennas that gives us that frequency that reacts in these electromagnetical channels that are in our head.
That is just so fascinating. Our teeth are crystals, and we have everything is expressed by the way they are in the mouth. Fascinating.
It's extremely fascinating. So what so I can understand it, you can look at somebody's teeth and you can tell what the conflicts are, perhaps for their entire life, perhaps even what's going on, and explaining some of the things about even their health and maybe even their relationships. So I want you to continue.
And in the relationships of our ancestors, of our transgenerational tree, because what happens in your life, always our body, it's always translating everything that happens into survival, into survival items. So the way we deal with the relations, we are a relational animal. The way we deal with the relations, it's extremely related with survival. So if our ancestors survived in a certain way, taking their relations in a certain way, they will give us that recipe to continue with that recipe. So that's why we have different positions of our teeth. We have different kind of illness that can affect our teeth. For example, cavities, periodontal disease, gum disease. Everything that happens in our teeth affects the way those crystals generate this relational instinct in our brain.
Perfect. Show us the example of the panoramic X-ray and talk us through.
For example, if we look at this panoramic X-ray we have here, it's a panoramic X-ray from a lady. We can see different things. A panoramic X-ray shows us teeth, and those white things you see here, those are presence of crowns. In this case, are crowns that are over first molars and second molars, lower second molars. This is the right side and this is the left side.